Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the house that Hammer built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's having a great day. Those coming on in, quick 3 rules when you come on in, especially those that are new to the channel. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. YouTube, or at least Raiders YouTube, just started their rotating shield. So the presser, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Davante Adams should be starting within about the next 15 minutes. It was originally scheduled for 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So I thought I would jump on now and get into it with you guys. Let's get this rundown going first off. There we go. So Josh McDaniels did a presser earlier this afternoon, and it appears that Jimmy Garoppolo was back at practice, and Coach McDaniels is hopeful that Jimmy G will start this coming Monday night versus the Detroit Lions. Monday Night Football, primetime game. Y'all know what it is. I will put a poll up in the chat at some point because I think a lot of us are already done with this experiment. I don't know if experiment is the right word, but at this point, that's exactly what it seems like it is with Jimmy G as a starting quarterback for us. He's already gone down with 2 injuries in the first 7 weeks. First one was a concussion sustained against the Steelers, and then he had the back injury about 2 weeks ago. So something's got to give. If dude can't stay on the field, we've always said availability is your best ability. If you can't stay healthy, there's no need for you to be on the field to do anything for us. We will go into his stats, actually, since we do have the news that he did return to practice today. Let's get this up for you guys. So as it stands so far this season, Jimmy G is 100 for 147 for 1,079 yards, averaging 7.3 yards per pass, 7 touchdowns, a QBR of 82.6, a completion percentage of 68.0, interceptions 8, which I think he still leads the league as it stands right now. Sacked 7 times so far for 52 yards, 1 fumble, and that fumble was not lost. Let's get this back up. There we go. Shout out to Garrell Webster. Shout out to Junior Flores. Shout out to number 1, 2, 3, and Ace Rasta. Blessings. Wagwan, boss. Ricky Two Toes was good. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. In other news, break that down right there. There's a report from theheavy.com with a potential trade proposal sending the $32 million man that is slot receiver Hunter Renfro to the Green Bay Packers. Now, you guys that follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Zitter, Shitter, whatever. I did put a post up the other day in regards to this trade as Jordan Schultz reported that pretty much now Hunter Renfro is able to explore trade suitors and see what the possibilities are. At the same time, I did mention the Packers as one of these teams that could potentially go for him. The Lions could be another team, maybe even the Giants. I think I said the Colts as well. A lot of people have said, what about the New Orleans Saints? New Orleans Saints don't have money. They put a lot of money into their 3 quarterbacks in Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, or Jameis Winston, whatever the hell that kid's name is. I don't care. Taysom Hill and running back Alvin Kamara. So they don't have that type of money to be able to afford a trade like that at this point in time. So the Saints are a team that's out the window. If it happens, I would be stunned as hell. I can't even imagine them trying to pull off a trade with us, and who would we get in return? A lot of people have talked about Carolina. They've talked about Brian Burns. Brian Burns is actually injured right now. He sustained an elbow injury. It was reported earlier today. I think as it stands right now, he is questionable in his game this coming Sunday. Let me just check something real quickly as we talk about this. Actually, I kind of lost my train of thought there. It is what it is. Again, we will have Jimmy G live for his weekly presser. He did return to practice today. For him to be at the podium today for this presser, it's kind of a telling sign already that he is slated to start this coming Monday night. We saw this when he had his own solo press conference 2 weeks ago after clearing concussion protocol and started the next game. So I think it's presumable right now that Jimmy G will be starting this Monday night. I know a lot of people are not going to want to hear that. I am punchy as saying Kamara for Jacobs straight up. But we're talking about trying to trade Hunter Renfro. So how would that work? How would that work? And Jacobs is on the last year of his contract. Kamara, I'm not 1,000% sure where he stands on his contract. I think he might have one more season after this year. But no, we're talking in regards to this Hunter Renfro trade news. Let me just pull something up real quickly, guys. Hold on one sec. I did mess around and try to redo some of the some of the monitors in here, and I'm really not too happy. I'm actually going to look into probably putting another big one like dead center for this. Jimmy knows he's done if he doesn't play. Yeah, but who, you know what, I'm putting it in the poll. I'm putting it to a poll right now. Let's see what you guys think. I want to hear you guys' opinions on this. Sorry for the dead air. You know I hate that. But I'm gonna put this in the poll in the chat for you guys to see. Oops, nope, that's not it. All right. All right, it's up. Who would you guys want to start this coming Monday night? Do you want Garoppolo or do you want AO4? So, guys, start at already. I don't even know how many answered yet, but right away. Well, we got 2 votes, so it's clearly 2 already said. Where is it? Where is it?
Hey, yo.
There it goes. There it goes. AO4. So we shall see. We shall see. But like I said, if Garoppolo is taken to the podium today, it's pretty evident that he's most likely going to be starting. And you guys see at the bottom of the ticker that I did say that Jimmy G did return to practice. And Josh McDaniels is hopeful that he is available and pretty much hopeful that he starts for our Raiders this coming Monday. So we shall see whenever that happens. See if there's any other Raiders news right now. I don't think there is. I had that article earlier, but I lost it in regards to Hunter Renfro. Let me see if I can try to do it this way and see what pops up. No. But like I said, the Raiders organization is working with Hunter Renfro. I guess Hunter Renfro is the one of there's maybe teams that he might be interested in going to, that they will listen and see what the possibilities are. Shout out to Spicy pulling up. Appreciate the support. Graham Cam was good, bro. If Jimmy starts, I doubt he finishes. Back issues are no joke. I don't think I've ever had anything serious. I've had like spasms and stuff, but like that shot that he took, yeah, at the quarterback position, one wrong hit, that could be it for him. So, I don't know. I don't know. Like I would much prefer seeing AO4 start, but as it stands right now, like I said, Jimmy G is taken to the podium in the next couple of minutes, and it's like almost a given now. If he's going to be at the podium today, then he's most likely going to be that guy that starts for us. We already went through the stats for him this season. There are some other stats, and I'm going to talk some stats about Davante, maybe even before Davante's presser as well. Aiden starting over Jimmy is ridiculous. Speak your mind, gangsta. I want to hear what you got to say, Spicy. As it pertains to Jimmy Garoppolo in his career, and you guys know he's been in the league for 10 years, he's played 2 games against Detroit with 35 for 51, 68.6 completion percentage, 520 yards, 10.2 on average, 260 yards in those 2 games, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. His longest, which you guys are going to be like, wait, what? This is who? This is our quarterback doing this? His longest was a 79-yard pass. He was sacked 7 times, 58 yards in those 2 games, 2 fumbles, 1 loss. He has a rating of 121.4. So here's one thing to think about too, because we talked about the stats in regards to his sacks so far this season and as they stand. Um, the sacks and the yards are actually similar to that of Aiden O'Connell, and Aiden O'Connell only played and started one game. He was sacked 7 times, lost, what was it, 50 yards against the Chargers. So it's kind of disturbing where they have those similar stat numbers, and Garoppolo's played a couple more games than him. So yeah, here we are, there we are. And now again, we're still waiting for this presser, which it says it starts at 6. The rotating shield started about 5:45. So I came on anyways just to go through it. So let's see. If Jimmy starts, I doubt even. Oh, yeah, I answered that. I say start Jimmy and see if he's got something. If he doesn't, put AO4 in after halftime. Gerald, I like your thought process. I like your thought process. Like if we don't have a decent amount of points up by halftime, if this offense is just pedestrian as hell, then yeah, I say put the kid in. Like realistically, they should have tried to put the kid in after halftime of this last week's game against the Bears because Hoyer wasn't doing anything. He was not doing anything, and it was clear as day. You decide to throw O'Connell in with 5.5 minutes left in the game when we were already down 3 scores. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is this like varsity high school football? Like, we're getting our asses beat, so now we'll feel bad and put people in. Like, stop with that shit. Um, it's so crazy because I'm going back and forth between the chat, but the chat shows up differently from what I'm seeing directly on my OBS screen to um, the YouTube live chat. But I got y'all. Davante is at the podium. Oh shit! There we go. My bad, guys. This goes to show I'm slipping a little bit.
Okay, questions?
There we go.
Davante, Detroit was always a team you played very well against in Green Bay. Does that translate it over to the game Monday, and you feel like you'll have a strong game with them?
I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't set up. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna go out and have a big game against them this time. That was a different team and different year. It's different players. I'm a different player than I was then. So, I mean, nothing's set up. But if we do the right things, definitely can go out and have a big game.
Let me know you guys can hear it loud and clear.
Play a team when they're coming off a big loss like that, and they're more motivated maybe.
I mean, sometimes it is. Once again, I don't think that's really like a big signal for anything. At the end of the day, we still got to do what we got to do, and it can mean something for that team negatively or positively.
I'm just gonna go through them because I guess I had it muted, so it is what it is. We'll go through both of them, and then we'll talk a little bit more. We'll open up the vault line as well.
Having Jimmy back help this offense?
Well, yeah, I mean, for us right now, it's about working with whoever's in there. But definitely having Jimmy, somebody that's he's had the most experience with this offense so far of any of the other quarterbacks. So it definitely does something for us, and had a good practice today, and definitely excited to have him back in the lineup. So we're gonna go out there and try to make the most of every opportunity we get.
Going into the season, we asked you so much about your relationship with him. You spoke highly of getting to know him as he was recovering and stuff. Now you've been through a few games. You've had some ups and downs. How has your relationship with Jimmy kind of progressed?
Still good. I mean, I always say Jimmy, he's not perfect. Nobody is. And he's done all the right things to make it easy playing with him as far as, in the meeting rooms and taking accountability. There's been a couple of times where I've taken some shots and everybody's seen that. And the way he talks about it with me, it makes me feel a lot better after it. And, it's not something that he's out there trying to do, but we just got to make sure we're taking advantage of every opportunity to do it the right way. So we can continue to build that relationship. It's not easy going out there, especially like I said, without the reps that I had with Derek going into the season. It was definitely an adjustment and something to get used to, but still looking forward to building with him.
As far as the offensive struggles go, is it too simple to say you should be more aggressive? Is that something you look at in terms of what you guys can do better going forward?
I mean, that's definitely a piece of it, but a piece of it is just executing the call. It's obviously something we can do to put ourselves in as best of positions as possible, but at the end of the day, we can't make excuses about the call. We're playing a similar brand of ball as last year, just executing at a much lower level, and that's something that we can do as players, and definitely things they can do as coaches to help us and put us in better positions. But we're all working at that together.
How hard is that to accept that, Davante, that you guys aren't executing at the same level?
It's frustrating, but it is what it is. You gotta do something about it. You can sit there and cry and complain about this and that, but at the end of the day, that doesn't make you better as a team and come together as a team to be able to fix it. So you just got to be solution oriented and not just complaining and crying about things.
There have been rough offensive weeks this season, and you want to get into the film room and kind of critique it. How do you make sure that a week like last week isn't just kind of the same thing that we're hearing from other bad weeks, and that it rings more true, I guess?
It's a great question. That's what we're trying to figure out, and it's just about accountability from every single person in this building. I got to say, I got to make that play in the end zone, and I got to truly feel that way and do something about it the next time, and we got to take care of the ball better. And it's just a series of things that we have to make sure we hone in individually to improve. And if everybody takes that burden and that responsibility serious, then that's when things flip around, and you have times where the Raiders a few years ago won those 5 games to get into the playoffs, and so all you need is an opportunity to get in the show. And at that, once you got a chance at it, we long ways from that right now. We still building, but that's the idea, so that you can in essence turn it around.
Is it more frustrating because when you look around?
Hold on. We're gonna get back to that in a second, but give me a time where I've ever done that. I call things the way I see it. I say how I feel about things. I give my opinion about shit. And if you don't like it, truly, I don't give a fuck. Point blank, period. But at the same time, if you're fucking up, you're fucking up. If you're doing good, I'm going to give you credit where your credit's due. I know where I stand on our current situation, our current state of this team right now. Don't ever question that. Moving on.
Why are we in this position right now, considering the talent that's here?
Yeah, that's why I'm frustrated every week, and that's why you see the frustration after games. It wouldn't be the same if we had not a good staff, and we didn't have a good roster, but we have that. So we just got to figure out what it is to what to run that best suits what we're doing. And anytime whatever's called, we got to go out there and find a way to make it work. And that's what we did last year, and we didn't win every game, but we were much more efficient on offense than what we are now. So the more people can lock in on ways to fix it and fix their part, then the whole thing will come together.
When you look at the tape, is it as complex, or do you kind of see the answers there on tape?
Yeah, we see it. It's just about doing it. Football is not about how good you are. It's about how good you play. So when you have the opportunities, you get that one-on-one, sure, you can say on paper, 17 is supposed to beat this guy, but if I don't do it consistently, well, then we got a problem, Yeah, we want certain matchups, but when you get them, you got to do something about it. You get zoned, you got to be able to adjust. The part of what we do, the coach's job is to give us the looks that we are anticipating throughout the week, and that's just one of the ones. It's to try to give us the best opportunity to go out there and see what the game is going to look like. And a lot of times it's not going to be that, because they're just giving you what the numbers say. They don't say that they got to do the same thing every time. So, our part as players is to go out there and make it work, and assess what the coverage is and find a way to make every play work. And we have good plays. We just got to make sure we have good execution.
Not to point any fingers, but isn't that true right on down the line to whatever position we're talking about?
100%. It's from every position in the building. The general manager, the head coach, the strength coach, everybody plays a role in this thing. And, obviously the players play the biggest role. So that's why I say at the end of the day, I'll never sit here and point fingers and say, we got to call better stuff. We got to, have this, or we got to have that. At the end of the day, when the play comes in, it's time to do something about it, and that's how football goes. You don't get to call plays when you're a player. Cool.
All right. So there you have it. That was Tay. Said his piece on things. A couple of you guys have said it, like he's very PC when it comes to saying things at the podium. And you know what? Like, look, we've seen guys back in the day, these dudes that were making a shit ton of money. Not to say that Tay is not, because he is. But, like, you have people, oh, give me the ball, da-da-da-da, being the divas. That ain't him.
Jimmy, I know you've...
Ladies and gentlemen, he's up. He's here.
I'm not sure you've done the start, stop kind of thing that you're going through right now.
Yeah.
How frustrating is that?
It's different. You know, it is what it is. Every season's kind of unique. I've learned that just throughout the years that it's never going to go perfect, but you got to make the best of the situation. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just got to roll with the punches, man.
In that Patriots game, did it feel like you were things were starting to, it felt like, or looked like anyway, that things were starting to come a little bit more with more fluidity? Did it feel like that to you?
Yeah, we were definitely in a good rhythm. I mean, it's an unfortunate, situation, but we still got the win. Got bounced back this week, though. Going to Detroit Monday night, it'll be a hostile environment, but we're looking forward to it.
Mike, go find another team to root for and another channel to watch.
Feeling good. I felt good out there today throwing it around. Don't want to get into too many specifics, but overall feeling pretty good.
This last game, you were actually present even though you weren't playing. What do you pull out of a game differently when you're on the sidelines than, say, the Charger game when you were at home watching on TV?
Well, you're in it. You know, you get
Facts.
the feel of
Facts.
what's going on, the situation of the game. You get to watch a little bit of the defense, once we get talked through our stuff. But, it's a weird feeling. I don't enjoy it by any means, but, it is what it is. And like I said before, you got to make the best of the situation. So that's what I was trying to do, help the guys out in any way I could. And, just now trying to get ready for Detroit. And, it's a big one this week for us.
It sounded like when you were injured, there was a lot of fear from the organization, at least, about what could have happened. Were you scared? Was that a fearful situation for you? Or?
It was different. It was different than any injury I've had. Thankfully things worked out. Feeling good, but we're in a good spot now.
When you look at Monday night, obviously Aiden Hutchinson, from your standpoint, somebody you'll be seeing coming at you. What are your thoughts on what you've seen on him on tape?
Very talented, man. Very talented. Guy's got a motor that just doesn't stop. So tip your hat to him. He's a good player. We're gonna have to scheme it up for him, get him blocked and handle that. And I think that's where it all starts. Their front's talented. Starts with him, and once you get that handled, then you can start attacking different parts of them.
When you look at the offensive struggles this season, is it too simple to say you should be more aggressive as an offense? Is that something that's I'm sure you guys talk about?
I think there's always a place for that. There's never one thing that's like, hey, if we fix this, we'll be good. And everyone wants it to be like that and be a quick fix. That's kind of the world we live in now, but it's not like that. I mean, it's a process. You got to assess different things. Players have to play better. Coaches have to coach better. I mean, it's all of us. So it's just, we're in it together, though. We got a good group of guys in there, tight-knit group. Guys that came to work today and came with the right mindset. It was pretty cool.
How close do you get the sense then, Jimmy, that you guys are actually close to getting over that hump thing? 'Cause there's been a lot of starts and stops and backfires and things like that for this offense.
Yeah, I mean, that never makes it easy going through what you just said. But it's our job to fix it and get it right. So if it'll happen this week, next week, I don't have an exact answer for you. But I mean, we're trying everything we can, man. It's and like I said, we got a group in there that's willing to do it. Go through the hard stuff, go through the growing pains together, and that's what it takes. It's not going to come easy to us, but we know what we signed up for.
I'm sorry, I'm down here. Sorry.
Oh, my bad.
You've been on teams that kind of started slow and then they string together a number of wins in the middle of the season and make the postseason. What does it take for a team to turn it around mid-season and get hot?
I mean, I've been on a couple different ones. It's not always the exact same. I think, like I just said, it starts with the guys in that locker room, though. I mean, when we could all come in and speak the same language, see the same picture, really be on the same page with one another, that's when you could really start taking things to the next level. And just my little experience in the NFL, I mean, that's what it takes. You got to be in it together. You got to be pulling for the guy next to you. You can't be doing it for different reasons. And I think, we got a good group in there. Guys are learning that about each other. This team hasn't been together forever, but we got to learn quick and come together.
One of the hot topics last few weeks has been Davante targets. How do you deal with that? Is that always in the back of your mind? Do you think about getting the ball a certain amount of times, or just take what the defense gives you?
Whenever you got the best receiver in football on your team, it's always in the back of your mind, man. I know where he is on every play from the moment I got here. I mean, it's a luxury that we have is, being the quarterback here. You get a guy like that on your team, you want to know where he's at. You want to know that he wants the ball. So that's always in my mind. But, we got a bunch of playmakers on this team, man. So I'm trying to get all of them the ball, just trying to play point guard and, feed them the rock.
Good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, there you guys have it. The weekly from Davante, and we're not leaving yet, but I appreciate y'all pulling on up today. We have 97 in the chat. Those that are coming in, break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell. We will open up the vault line for a little bit, hear from you guys, sound off on what we've discussed today. Jimmy G, again, is back at practice. He just wrapped up his presser. Presumably right now, he's going to be the starter for Monday night versus the Lions. We talked about the trade news as it pertains to Hunter Renfro. Hunter Renfro is able to talk to teams right now to try to find a suitor for him to be traded to. I've given my list of teams where I think would fit, teams I think that could use him, especially at the slot position. We heard from Davante Adams. Let me talk real quickly about Tay in regards to his stats so far this year and for his career, because you heard what he said in regards to playing Detroit this time around. It ain't the same. He's got a completely different team around him compared to the past when he had Rodgers and the rest of the Green Bay Packers. But for his career with Green Bay versus Detroit, 13 games played, 71 receptions on 106 targets, 778 yards, 7 touchdowns. His longest was a 56-yarder. His total yards, 778, like I stated before. His first 5 games this season with us, 34 receptions on 54 targets, 378 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is not the Tay that we're used to. We saw the numbers that he put up last year with Derek Carr at quarterback. Hopefully things turn around, things change. Hopefully Aiden Hutchinson does not get the best of Jimmy G and kills him on Monday night. Hoping not anyways. We still need a quarterback at this point. But yeah, let me open up the vault line for you guys real quick. I'm going to put it in the chat. You guys can call on in and sound off. Give me 1 second. Make sure Do Not Disturb is turned off. And we should be good to go momentarily. But like I said, I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys anyways. There it is. Did it is. And let me get this other piece put up for you guys. But yeah, though you guys see the rundown right now and all the topics we talked about. So call in, sound off on tonight's topics. And again, appreciate you guys hanging on out with me. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to hang out here with me. And I truly appreciate that. Let's go to this overlay. I just want to make sure I have everything I need in case we do have people calling in. And it's the lower third. Yeah, it is. I got it. Cool. And I think it is on the screen. And if you guys don't see it, I'll pull it up right now. There you guys go. Call into the SeatGeek Vault line. Have your voice heard and sound off on today's topics. 347-471-0361. Those trying to get their next Raider tickets. Lakers, now that the NBA season's here. Warriors, whoever you're a fan of or your next concert. Download the SeatGeek app today. Use promo code HammersHouse to get $20 off of your first purchase. Download the SeatGeek app on the iTunes or the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Download the SeatGeek app today. Let's see where we are in the chat. Hunter should stay. McDoofus should be the one going. A lot of people have been saying that, Redbone. And appreciate you pulling on up, bro. A lot of people have been saying that, and I put the post up on IG yesterday in regards to Hunter being traded, and people had various comments in regards to this. And the one thing that I said, because a lot of people thought, including myself, I thought Hunter Renfro was perfect for this offense. We've seen the use of slot receivers in Josh McDaniels' system. We've seen the use of the slot receivers in Bill Belichick's system. The shifty white guys that could always make plays. You had Amendola, you had Edelman, and it was like those guys were workhorses. But the thing is, the Josh McDaniels way, the Patriot way, whatever you want to call it, even though I've said the Patriot way is out the window when Tom Brady left, the thing is, whether it being Belichick or McDaniels, they have a standard, and pretty much it's practically like military type thing. If you're not doing what they want, they're not going to want you here. Hunter Renfro has a tendency to improv on his routes, and that's the thing that McDaniels doesn't like. And we clearly see it now that Renfro is not being utilized the way he was even last year before he went down with the injuries. So I was under the belief that Amendola being here on the coaching staff would be someone perfect to coach up Hunter Renfro, and I thought things were going to work itself out, but clearly that's not the case, and that's why we're in the situation that we are in now, and we're talking about him potentially being traded by next Tuesday. So It is what it is. Wow, Jimmy G is starting to shake my head. Mwazi, like I said, for them to announce that he practiced today, for him to be at the podium today, we saw this 2 weeks ago. He cleared concussion protocol and had a solo, more or less impromptu presser. It was clear that he was going to start that game. And this one really wasn't an impromptu, but it was like, okay, he practiced today. He's going to the podium. He's going to be our starter Monday night. So I know a lot of people already aren't thrilled about it. Again, this has not been announced that he's officially starting, but like things add up. So I do believe that he will be starting this coming Monday night versus the Detroit Lions. So we shall see. Let me catch up to you guys in the chat. This thing like is just doing its own thing. It freezes, it acts up, and I don't know why it's been doing that recently. We need new blood as head coach, someone who thinks outside the box and innovative. McDoofus ain't that. That's a fact. You're right. But I don't at this point, and I'm going to say it right now, because just like everybody else, I've wanted McDaniels gone. This, not even a full half season in, and we're seeing what we're seeing right now. And it's just like history repeating itself with the shit that was going on last year. You steered away from things that worked. You've had a whole bunch of blunders this season and costly mistakes that you made. And it's like, are you purposely trying to lose? Like, because realistically, if you're attempting to tank, which you guys know how I feel about that, like, don't think you're going to be the one that's back next year anyways. Jimmy G wouldn't make it through the first quarter. I think we should have an over-under for that this week. Imagine not wanting to use Renfro skills. I mean, at this point, let him lose, because what he's calling isn't working anyways. Shout out to Oilfield Raider. Any thoughts on Mark Davis getting Brady as GM head coach? I think that's what he's trying, but the NFL won't let him. So, Gunsmoke, and I've been waiting. We haven't heard anything, so clearly it seems like it wasn't approved yet. We know that Tom Brady was looking into being a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. They did have the meetings in New York last week for 2 days. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was last Tuesday and last Wednesday. We have not heard a single thing in regards to those owner meetings, because I'm pretty sure that these meetings that just happened last week were supposed to be the ones where they were supposed to vote on this ownership stake. And I'm going to assume right now that since nothing was announced about this, whether pretty much if he was approved for the minority stake in the franchise, then he didn't get it. It wasn't approved. And we did see a couple of weeks ago, that was like 2-3 weeks ago, that Mark Davis was trying to give him some type of discounted price in regards to that minority stake. And some owners were definitely frowning upon it. So as it stands right now, obviously there is no minority stake for Tom Brady as it stands right now. Again, we didn't hear any approval after those meetings last week. So at this point in time, it seems like it's still status quo, and he is not, has no ownership of this organization. So it is what it is. That's why. Okay. I just saw one that I wanted to highlight. So let me clarify. The fan bases want to fire the coach and start a rookie QB going into the next game. Shout out to Spicy. I couldn't. Oh, here it is. I couldn't find it for a sec. That's what it sounds like. At this point, Graham is a better coach than McDaniels. With Graham, you could at least see a progression. Yeah, but you know what, Mr. Raider, and salute to you in the chat. We've talked about this as well. Like, if McDaniels were to be fired before the end of the season, which again, I don't think Mark Davis is going to do that, but I would much rather see Rob Ryan as the interim head coach over Patrick Graham. And that's just my thought, my feeling. That dude brings that energy. That dude brings that old school Raider mentality. And I know a lot of these players, we saw the mic'd up over the summer, like they love that energy and they respect the hell out of that. So like, I would much rather have somebody like that. And I'd be a hell of a lot happier, because that family, that coaching tree from that family is just, they're really, really smart, especially when it comes to running a defense. So again, I don't, at this point, like I've said it, I would love to see McDaniels go at this point in time with everything that's going on. Like, we are removed 2 years from making a wild card game. And you heard Davante mention that in regards to there's still a lot of games left, but at the same time, they still have catching up to do. But who's to say they can't repeat what happened 2 years ago? And he wasn't even part of this team 2 years ago. So it is what it is, man. Hammer, you are the head coach. What's your game plan to beat the Lions? That's a good question. Salute, Junior. Protect our quarterback at all costs because, again, Aiden Hutchinson is a dog. He is a dog. From the defensive standpoint, these guys have had a lot of banged up running backs over the last couple of weeks. But you have to stop the run at all costs. Goff is a guy that has a very quick release as well. You got to apply that pressure. You have to apply that pressure, and you have to just try to be on offense a hell of a lot longer. Eat that clock. We don't need to see our defense out there for 14, 15, 16 play drives by the Lions because you're just going to wear them out. And then what? You get to the tail end of the game, and they're all winded. Like, we don't need that shit. Point blank, period. Mark Davis himself said he's not a football guy and wants one. Plus, look what he did with the Aces and getting someone. Gunsmoke, I've talked about this time and time again, and I've made the joke about it, and it is what it is. Like, you could be mad at me when I say it, but it was like, your father had an amazing football mind, and rest in peace to Al Davis. Your father had an amazing football mind. We won 3 championships. We won 3 Super Bowls. It was like, for Mark Davis, things went in one ear and right out the other. And it was like, it's okay. Like, I'm like, I'm trying to think the best way to put it. It's okay. Like, I still have money pretty much. Like, you have 0 football IQ. 0. And I've talked about having the right people in place at the top. And it just, Ziegler, we still have not heard from. And we talked about that the other night when we were on with Graf. Like, we haven't heard from Ziegler. And all these things that have come down these last couple of weeks with these losses and just conservative play calling or horrible clock management, and our GM is just on the back of a milk carton right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I understand where we were trying to get Tom Brady. That's a football mind. That's a very great offensive-minded person. He could be the bug in the ear and try to make the right and necessary moves, not spending more than half of your cap on one side of the ball. Like, I get why they were trying to do it, but again, as it stands right now, it doesn't seem like he was approved. We would have heard something last week after those meetings. So it is what it is at this point in time. We have to continue to go through these next couple of weeks. I know somebody was in the chat before, like, oh, former Raider fan. Cool, you're not going to be missed. I've talked about that before. Like, I'm still sticking with this team. I say it at the end of every show. Win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Like, things do need to change. They need to change quick, fast, in a hurry. You see the Broncos, you see the Chargers are below us right now, miraculously so. But we really need to pick this shit up and get our shit together moving forward. Like, this stretch, I said the next 5 games were an incredibly crucial stretch for us. We played down to a undrafted quarterback out of a D2 school and just got the dog shit kicked out of us. We had the Lions, which was the one team out of that 5-game stretch that I was concerned about. After that, we have the Jets and the Giants. The Jets all of a sudden are seeming to find a way to win. They do have a really good defense and a very good secondary, but their quarterback is not that great, and their offensive line is banged up. But who's to say that they can't come to Vegas and beat us as well? Like, we just saw them beat the Philadelphia Eagles last week. Like, so we can't even look at some of the teams on our schedule now and be like, oh, yeah, we got that win. Do we? Because when we play down to these teams with these losing records, we somehow shit the bed every single time. And that needs to turn around quickly. We have a very difficult stretch after the Giants. So if these guys want to talk about contending, maybe even getting to the P word, I'm just going to say it that way for now, the P word, because I don't even want to talk about it. I've made my point on things, and I've said what the record is going to be if shit doesn't change, especially when it comes to the play calling. You're looking at a 4-13 or a 5-12 team. And it's not an insult, it's a fact of life right now. Like, we'll see how this plays out this coming Monday night. I will be live for that game, but I don't want to say I'm at my wit's end, but I'm getting close to it because this stuff is it's getting out of hand with what we're seeing. And this is not what this team should have been or should be at this point going into week 8 of the season. Let's see. This is on top again. Okay. No, this is live now. TB isn't going to have any say in the day-to-day operations of the team, just like all the other minority owners don't have any say. There you go, LV. LV67, because we do have another LV in here. But appreciate you, bro. I've been a Raider fan for a long-ass time. I've seen the good and the bad, but this is different. McDoofus is damn near destroying the Raiders. And that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like for a lot of people. That's what a lot of people have said. And I keep seeing the Raiders YouTube channel when they do these live pressers. All you see throughout the chat more than 90% of the time is Fire McDaniels. And it's going straight down the line. Like, I think somebody had said that they had to shut off their chat a day or two ago because of how crazy it was getting with that chat. But it is what it is. I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm actually going to be a guest this coming Saturday as I do a matchup preview, and I'm not in my backyard. I will be a guest on Roar of the Lions UK. Yes, UK. There are Lion fans in England, and they have asked me to be a guest to do a matchup preview. So this coming Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time, it'll be on their channel, Roar of the Lions UK on YouTube. I will try to get a hold of it and upload it to my channel once we finish it, but I will be a guest on Roar of the Lions UK doing the Lions Raiders matchup preview 2 days before the game. So you guys are not going to want to miss that. Sunday, I will be live doing our weekly fantasy start situm. As you guys know, I was away last week, so I didn't get the chance to do it. But we will be back live for that on Sunday as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to wrap up. We've been on for almost 45 minutes. You heard everything I had to say. You heard what Jimmy G had to say. You heard what Tay had to say. Actually, let's do one more thing before we get out of here. Let me just get this up real quickly because it should be out at this point. It's already 6:30 on the East Coast. So let me find this real quickly and make sure that we do have it. Excuse me, guys. Wait, is it not up yet? One more second, guys. Sorry about this. Let's check this one. No. I do not see the injury report up yet, which is kind of crazy because, again, it's already 6:30 Eastern time. And normally it's up like a little after 5 Eastern time. So I could let me try one more thing. Like Paul Gutierrez already threw up the picture of Jimmy Garoppolo today. Let me try one more thing. This is definitely weird because we normally have it up already. Let me check one more thing and see. No? Nope. We do not have an injury report up as it stands right now. Okay. Whenever we get it, I will be more than glad to post it on I will be more than glad to post it on IG. I'll be more than glad to post it on Twitter as well. And if you guys haven't, you can follow me on those platforms as well. Let me take the rundown off. There it is. Instagram, hammers.house. On X, it is hammers_house. So if you guys want to stay up to date with all the news, rumors, make sure to follow me on those platforms. But I will wrap it up right now. Shout out to Pablo. Appreciate you. Appreciate your take, Hammer and Canton. One time for the nation. Raiders! All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Like I said, Curtis Bolton is off of IR. Shout out to LV Maximus on that. We're going to wrap it up for now. Again, this coming Saturday, Roar of the Lions UK on YouTube, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. I will be a guest doing a matchup preview on their channel across the pond. And Sunday, our fantasy football stardom situm. And Monday night, we will be live play-by-play. I already got the scoreboard and everything up. I'll give you guys a quick peek of it. And there you guys have it. There it goes, bye-bye. But on your way out, if you haven't already, the 3 simple things, especially if you're first-timers, do not let it be your last. We just hit that goal of 7,000. We're on that road to 10K, and I appreciate each and every single one of y'all that have been supporting me. This is year 3 of me doing this, and we're at 7,000. Couldn't be happier, couldn't be more thankful to each and every single one of y'all, because none of this happens without each and every single one of y'all. On your way out, though, break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, fantasy, and more in the house at Hammer built by the nation for the nation. Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID is on the rise. Remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Peace, love, and positivity. We out.